was a noise from somewhere deep. We heard the sound, it was bittersweet. Voices calling out from an aching heart, getting so much closer by staying apart, singing a song of hope and love that we you heard when I heard. I feel what you feel. We will survive. We will stay strong. Love is the word, and hope is the song. The streets are empty, but the sky is clear. You want somebody and can't have them near. Taking shelter where you can when the world is at stake. Alone together, trying hard not to break. Singing a song of hope and love that will heal. You heard when I heard. I feel what you feel. We will survive. We will stay strong. Love is the word, and hope is the song. A song for the lonely, the tired and the weary. A song for the broken, the mighty. Can you hear me? Get beyond our pride and greed. Share everything that we need. We won't be ignored. We will be restored. Singing a song of hope and love that will heal. You heard when I heard. I feel what you feel. We will survive. We will stay strong. 'Cause love is the word, and hope is the song.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Café is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Café and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Café. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Café midday show. We're a little bit late because we've been doing some major upgrades.
Woohoo!
Major stuff.
Upgrading the equipment.
I
My
know.
favorite was when Teddy opens the box and says,
We got no plug.
"We got no power plug." And we're running around. You know what Chenzo says? "I got one at home. I almost sent you home to get it. But you found one. He had an extra one at home."
I have another one somewhere, brand new somewhere, so I need a backup. 'Cause I don't know
backup.
I don't know where you got that one.
It was in your box.
Was it?
It was in the Freddy box of wires.
You see, don't throw nothing away.
We're going to hashtag the Freddy box of wires. But this is an upgrade that we've been working on. This is a dream of you and Gio had for, oh my goodness, since I've known you. And now you have it.
Why don't we go to the upgrade so people can see what we're talking about? And this is only the first version.
This is only version of the past few minutes. This was rewiring sound. This was rewiring mics and cameras. And so thank you to Amy and Barbara, who very patiently sat with us today while we were rewiring. And there you have it, a multi-camera view within our studio.
That's right. And there's Vinny, and there's Cracker Barrel, and there's Taylor. Taylor, how are you, Taylor? Taylor, you got to talk into a microphone, Taylor.
She's good, but you're not going to be able to hear her, so that's the next thing we got to fix.
That's the next thing we have to fix. We're going to have to change the in-studio.
She's cool.
We're going to have to change the in-studio. She mouths, I'm good. How you doing, Cracker Barrel? You having lunch?
I got lunch.
What's good for lunch today?
Leftover Chinese food.
She has the best lunch always.
Now, you do know that this upgrade will allow us to do up to 16
¿Cómo
cameras.
estamos, negro? How's that?
Going down, negro.
He
He went down to do an assignment. He's not here.
Thank you for the oranges.
But this will allow us to expand now. There will be cameras everywhere.
You know what they say about hot mics? Careful of the hot cameras.
But this has always been a dream. Now, this is part of the growth that we are installing, because when we go to do the big venues, you got to be able to have this type of coverage, multiple cameras and sets and everything else. It won't be shown like this, but you can pick any one of these individuals.
It's kind of cool because I was talking to some of our artists who are going to be away for the summer and they want to do on-location shoots, and I talked about this equipment that we have that can be purchased that enables us to do this and get into the equipment from other locations,
Yes,
which is pretty cool, just like
It
the
is.
Emmys.
I know. I know what you're talking about, yes. And it's funny you say that, because today we have 2 or 3 different ideas going on. Some new shows are coming. We're going to have some new shows coming out as well. So it's all good. All good.
So again, I'm excited. Tonight you've got some nice new shows coming on WNN.
Yes, we're going to have at 6 o'clock, we're going to have Lena Sosa, Tell Us Your Biz, English style.
English style, which I'm excited because she's an incredible executive business coach, and I'd like to hear it in English. Other than what I get to hear here and there in studio, I never get to hear on air because it's always in Spanish. So I'm excited to hear what she's doing in English, because what she's doing in the executive coaching space is amazing for corporate and individuals. And then at 6:30, we've got Barbara Silver and Amy Rashevsky. I'm not sure what they're doing, but they're going to have a little conversation about art, business, creatives. I'm not really sure what they're doing.
Well, it's funny because she says that she likes being...
Opa! Thank you, Valerie.
You know,
How'd you do that from across the room, Val?
it scares me.
How'd you throw my phone across the room and you weren't even near it?
Wow, that's so mean of you.
That's
Why?
kind of cool how she did that, right?
I didn't know she had the upper
I
arm
could have
strength.
seen her turn off the router. I said,
I know. At least she asked Vinny. I said, I'm thinking we need to put a label on that says fan.
There's a reason I didn't just go over there and go pop,
Thank
because
you.
I knew
Thank
that the
you.
router was somewhere over there, and I was like, knowing me, I'd be the one person to unplug the wrong thing.
Thank you for that.
well,
I
at least you
appreciate
know.
that.
Knowing her.
Nice.
How was everyone's weekend?
Yeah, it was super dope. I went to South Florida Fair.
Really?
Yeah, they're open.
Regular full fare?
Yep.
How was it?
That was fun.
Was there a lot of people?
A good amount. Like, not so much in the afternoon, but evening it was. I almost threw up. I almost died, but I had fun.
You almost threw up.
Did you take your mom there?
Oh, no. I was Saturday. I was with my best friend.
I have a friend who's a security guard up there.
Really?
Yeah, she told me it was packed. on
Oh, yeah.
Saturday.
Evening's packed. But it's very beautiful when you take up the Ferris wheel.
There's a Ferris wheel?
Do you
Yeah.
remember, were you the one telling us the story you went on Ferris wheel with a girlfriend and she threw up all over you?
Not a
No.
girlfriend. She was somebody that I wanted to meet until that moment.
So yeah, not so beautiful on the Ferris wheel if they hurl all over you.
Yeah, we're
It should
trying.
be called a hurl.
Oh, stop. You ever gone on?
Something called the hurl.
Have you
Is
ever
there?
gone on a ride and they have a hose at the bottom of the ride because people hurl and they hose things down?
Really?
No.
It's disgusting.
No.
Oh, yeah. Been there, done that.
The hurl. I don't know. How was your weekend?
Busy.
Worked.
I worked all weekend.
And the mall is like, phew.
Yep.
Are you there Fridays at, let's say, 6 o'clock?
No, I'm here.
On Friday, you're not here.
Yes, I am.
She's here
I'm
till
here
about
till
4.
5 o'clock.
Friday,
sometimes
you're here
Friday.
Thursdays.
She's here Fridays.
I'm here Fridays.
She stays and she
For Crazy Man.
uploads everything for Saturday. And
At 6 o'clock, you're not here.
Sometimes it just depends.
I went to dinner at 6 o'clock. You weren't here.
no, she went to grandma's, I think.
Yeah, I went to grandma's.
You don't work on Friday nights, right? I was going to stop by and say panty raid, but
Oh my God, that would be hilarious. They may throw you,
you,
out.
you wear
They would for sure throw you
Oh
out.
yeah, we throw those. We call them what do we call them? Teeny boppers.
You
And we
know.
half the time we throw them out because if they're male teeny boppers, they're usually being inappropriate and putting bras over what they're
Teeny
wearing.
Bopper wouldn't quite fit it for this one.
Huh?
We couldn't call him Teeny Bopper.
Why
Yeah, new name, teeny bopper.
Teeny Bopper.
first of all, the first
Teddy,
thing
can you imagine?
the first thing I would do is I would buy $100 worth of panties, and then I would put on a pair over my head around my neck, and then put it up and run in there and buy the ones, grab the ones that I bought because of the virus. You can't just and then have a camera shoot panty raid.
Oh my gosh. Teeny Bopper panty raid. They would for sure throw you out.
You ever did panty raid in high school?
I'd go hide
Nope.
in the back and be like, I don't know him, but you better call security.
No.
I would say, I know her. She put me up to this. Look, she gave me money to do this.
Oh.
Your word against mine.
But you never saw panty raids in high school? You know they were always
Only
there.
on Grease. Again, you're a walking movie.
Only on Grease.
Yeah.
Isn't a panty raid when they pants you? Or they take your clothes and you have to go running around the campus?
No,
in
they
your
go
panty?
into a woman's dorm and they steal the panties out of the drawer.
Oh.
Everybody comes back with a panty.
I've
Did you ever
never
get
heard of
caught?
that.
Twice. not fun.
Because the first time wasn't good enough. You had to go back.
No, I got caught the first time. My very first panty raid, I got caught because I didn't do it right. And my cousins told me, now you're going to listen? I says, yes. And it was a father that caught me.
You went to someone's house?
No, we went to a dorm, but the father was visiting the girl.
Wow.
Ooh.
And then I was successful all through until my high school years. And then we did one more, the last one, and I got caught.
Wow.
They
The last big
set us up because they knew that we had been doing it for 3 years. They set us up, and all the dean and everybody was waiting at the bottom of the
Wow.
house.
I got to tell you, you've lived a life, man. I got to tell
You
you.
never did that?
No.
You never knew anybody who did that?
No.
Chuck never did that?
I don't know. He's never shared those stories with me.
You should
if he
say,
has.
accuse him. Says, I heard that you were panty raid.
I think I'll do that, by the way.
Do what he tells you.
Tonight, I'm going to say, apparently, I spoke to someone and he's going to say, and who'd you talk to? Oh, I can just hear the whole conversation. Do you ever do a conversation and you have the whole conversation in your mind before you actually ever have the conversation?
Yes.
Every day.
I bet you don't.
You probably, I don't. You guys must have conversations like all the time.
Yes.
Every day. It's usually the same conversation about 3 times too to figure out what the heck
That's
I'm
a
gonna
little
say.
bit,
Really? What conversation did you have
Crazy.
3 times today?
what are you talking to yourself about 3 times?
The many things on my mental list, on my mental to-do list.
On her mental to-do list.
Wow, and you?
Oh, definitely. I concentrate myself all the time.
Do you ever talk yourself out of doing something?
Yes.
Like you're on your way to doing it and then you talk yourself out of doing it?
Yes.
Wow, you too?
And then I have the conversation that this is fear and you should not talk yourself out of doing it. And then there's the fine
Whoa,
line
whoa,
between
whoa, you do that? No, you don't do that.
I mean,
what happened to me last weekend. I told you I almost walked out, but I didn't.
that,
right?
Wow.
That thing I have going on at work, I almost talked myself right out of doing it. But I did it.
You did it.
See, the object of the game is to come back with a line that puts you above the conversation.
But sometimes the conversation's just in your head.
Yeah.
There is never a conversation going on in your head. Like, let's say you're having a conversation, make sure it's not a superior, but you're having a conversation with somebody and they're making you feel uneasy. What do? Do you walk away? Do you say something snazzy?
I kind of want to say something snazzy, like something snippy or sarcastic.
So with my dilemma is I usually just walk away, but I have a snazzy comment response in my mind.
In your mind?
In my mind,
When
I
nobody
have-
can hear it.
Yeah, in my mind, I have all the snazzy.
Her phone keeps going off.
My watch. Sorry.
Which you, so you walk away in your mind, you satisfy what you should have said.
Usually, yeah.
And then you have these conversations later. I can tell you, you're a book.
See, I don't.
Do you say something?
No,
You just swallow?
pretty much. It
Really?
depends. Yeah.
Not me. I come out of left field like Vinny.
My sister's like you, and Vinny.
Right
She
up.
just totally comes out of left field and says, and sometimes I go, how does your mind work? My sister, but you know my sister's mind, kind of like Vinny or you.
Well, something like a backhand compliment.
That.
I love that.
You know, like, yes, when I was younger, you remember children, you used to eat them when you were younger. Or have you stopped doing the panty raids? I've always used that.
My
line.
sisters would do something just like that with you.
Your sister does it with me.
You guys could banter back and forth all the time.
She does it.
And I'm not like that at all.
But your sister repeats the little banter. She has like these little.
You know her nuggets.
Yes.
You know her nuggets now.
And now I tell her again. You gonna say it again? You want to say it
now
again?
she's
Maybe we
got
should write it
nuggets
down.
for sure. Absolutely.
But you got to be quick,
Gotta be quick on your feet.
and you should never swallow because it takes a, you know, gas has a soul, and you don't want to lose an ounce of soul when you swallow. You can give it back.
Eventually, with patience. Vinny's like, what is he even talking about?
No, I'm just laughing in my head. That's all.
No, he knows. Vinny is probably the most polite guy I've ever met.
If I feel like it.
Nah, I've never seen you say, even when you don't want to do something, I notice you go, okay. It's like that, okay. He never says, no,
He
not
never
doing
is.
that.
He was in the back with Amy. And we're like, what are you doing? He says, I'm thinking about how I'm going to rehang things. And we're like, Things that make you go, and
See,
do
what
that.
he doesn't know is that she got him right where she wanted, because now she's going to want a picture taken and it categorized.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
I saw that too.
Pretty much.
It's
You're
bound to
going to go
happen.
from here to there.
It's bound to happen one of these days. So it's like, why not now?
He's a good kid. So what's your favorite Chinese food?
Lo mein. Chicken lo mein.
Chicken lo mein. You?
Good.
Vinny?
Oh, chicken and broccoli.
That's a good one.
Oh, definitely.
I like General Tao's.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice.
And you?
I'm not a big Chinese food person.
You're Jewish, of course you are. New Year's, and some more New Year's.
You know, I like it, but then I sound like my mother. I like it, but it doesn't always like me. I like the happy family, but sometimes if there's too much sauce and spices, then
Happy Family is very nice.
I get like it
See,
doesn't.
what I've learned
I don't
is
feel
it
so
depends
good.
on the place you go to. So when Zach was living with his grandma, I could never get him to agree on Chinese food because within that area there are no good Chinese restaurants that he likes. He likes the one by my parents' house, but that's too far sometimes. And then
So where do you live now?
I live in Deerfield now, there's a really good Chinese restaurant over there. So
We passed Cracker Barrel the other day, and we're like, and she lives right there.
I attempted to try to get there yesterday to meet up for Mother's Day so I could at least see his family and spend time, but it would have required everyone getting up way too early, which no one was going to do.
If you go to Boca, Military and Atlantic, is a place called the Bird's Nest.
I've heard of it.
Been there for 30 years.
Is that a Chinese restaurant?
Oh, it's the best Chinese in Florida.
See, if you go a little further down Military, there's one next to the boys and the girls. That's where we go because that's
I think
the one
that's
Grandma
the same
likes.
one, this Military in Atlantic.
This one.
No, Boys and
it's-
Girls is further north.
Oh,
yeah,
it is?
not really. It's like a mile up the street there.
Yep. There's another one on Clipmore. Remember when we visited the pizza guy, Raymond's Pizza on Clipmore? Next door to him is a nice Chinese place, but I don't know the name of it.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of Chinese. Normally, if Chuck eats Chinese, because you and I are working late, and I come home and he bought it for himself.
I used to have coconut soda, coquito, a green bottle, yellow tag, coconut soda with a large of pork fried rice. Pork fried rice. That's
Pork
what my
fried
diabetic.
rice. Yeah, pretty
I
much.
love pork fried rice.
Make me so hungry right now. I want some Chinese.
Did you get any? Well, Slick went down because, he's shooting this commercial for Triumph, Florida, and they are a public adjusting service, and they're working with us on Comcast. Taylor did an amazing job putting this commercial together. You're all going to see it airing on Comcast. But Slick promised the ladies last week that he'd come down today, and they were all going to get their hair and their makeup and everything done, and he did not show up. So they called Freddie, and they said, we're waiting for Slick. So Slick had to eat his lunch and go down to Triumph, and he'll be putting all that film together.
I got to congratulate the kids because Taylor did a nice job there. Teddy did a fantastic job on the AMP piece. And I don't know, was it Taylor or a collaboration for the AMP Media?
Yeah, Teddy did the voiceover, and Taylor did the editing on it.
There's a collaboration on that. I have to call to find out where the other three are. And then I was supposed to call Lou from You and Your Doctor, but I'm going to see him tonight.
But
to
you got
put two more
involved in the
together.
mind of Amy Rashevsky.
Wow. Amy has an interesting piece. Oh, and by the way, they're going to be on WNN tonight at 6:30 with Barbara Silver. I was trying to get Taylor to take 7:30, but she lives too far.
This Taylor?
Yeah.
Ah.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can invite Vinny to do the spot. But if I do, I just got to clear it with WNN because you're an employee there.
I absolutely am. Well, yeah.
Oh, why? Is there a conflict of interest?
You got to make sure there isn't.
Oh.
Do you want to do it tonight?
Not tonight though. Got to work out.
He sounds like Bianca.
Ay, 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 ay,
I
ay.
can't get on that workout train.
But you work out first thing in the morning.
I didn't this morning. I haven't in a week. I can't get up sometimes.
It's not easy sometimes in the heat. It is summer. I got to tell you, if you guys have not been to our theater recently, you got to call us and stop by because the artwork that's hanging here is really amazing. Take a look around this place in a year. What's changed? It's funny. I was looking through old receipts and everything of equipment that we've purchased over the past year.
Is it a lot?
Yeah, but anyway, I look back and I remember the first big upgrade we did when it all started and we shut down and we had to upgrade. And it was for our platform, right? So we could have 4 cameras. We could do a quad instead of 1, and that was like our big purchase. And now I look around and think that's like nothing compared to what we've been doing since then.
Remember when I said, Dawn, we need a stage? And you laughed at me?
Yeah, I had that receipt too.
She laughed. It's right, the markings are still on the
Freddie,
floor.
we needed a cabinet back there. I got those receipts too.
No, that cabinet was donated.
I know.
Amy gave us that.
No, the cabinet in the kitchen.
Oh.
And that. So we put invested a hard time, effort, people.
But you
and
remember this stage?
blood, sweat, and tears. Yes, 100%. A lot of things have come. You know, you look back on a year and you think, wow, when you're fortunate enough to look back on the year and you see what we've got, it's pretty amazing.
And it's funny because we have tracks to hang the art. And that wasn't even my idea. That was
Michelle,
Frank's idea.
yeah.
And Michelle. And thank God that we listened. I don't know why we never took the tracks across there. I guess something must have happened.
I don't know. But you can always do that
Now we
also.
need
But
more
it's
room.
amazing when you look around and see, not that taxes are fun, that by no means is it an enjoyable thing for me anyway.
Due next Monday, by the way.
But when you look back and you actually get a snapshot of the year, you should see my Amazon. Everything we've ordered on Amazon over the year. It's like, wow.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I print out all the receipts because there's no other way to track anything without receipts in my mind.
Well, listen, at least we've tried to upgrade, get bigger and better, because we said it from the very beginning, this isn't going to last forever, and we're going to get back on top, and hopefully we'll be right. It looks like more and more people are getting involved, and bigger and better things are coming.
So I was reading something this morning that says for the younger generation coming out, it's not about your first job, it's your first boss leaves more of an impact than your first job.
Wow, you remember your first boss?
Paid or unpaid?
Paid.
Yeah, I do.
Do they
Was he a
leave an
good guy?
impact?
He's like a meh.
A meh.
Not really a good guy, but not really a bad guy either.
Did you learn anything?
No, just all I do is deliver stuff and that's it. I didn't learn anything about life from them. All I learned is
You a delivery guy?
yeah. Back in 2013, New York, my first real paid job. I deliver packages, clothes, food to anyone around the city of Manhattan.
What about you, Val? Remember your first job?
I do.
Your first boss?
I do remember them. They didn't really leave much of an impact. If anything, my dad did because we worked together. He was not the head boss, like it was a store. So he wasn't a store manager, but he was a supervisor, key holder. So if anything, he just showed me the more importance of how to delegate, how to be in a customer service environment, because it was my first job. I was 18. So I didn't know much about it. But like any parent, you know, they leave a bigger footprint on you than anything else.
I wonder about Teddy. Teddy, you remember your first boss? She's coming. Forget the new equipment. She's coming out.
Who needs new equipment?
We're gonna go old school. Remember your first boss?
Of a paid job or just like any job?
Any job.
So my first like kind of job, I volunteered as a camp counselor at my preschool. And so my boss was my old preschool teacher, which is really cool. She's still the boss there. And my first paid job was at a candy store. And my boss was really nice, but the like assistant manager who was normally there was a crazy person. So that was fun.
Left a lasting impression.
Very lasting. It was a really small candy store, but if there was no one in there, you weren't allowed to just stand behind the register. So he literally would make it just walk laps around the store. And that was it. I would walk laps around the store for 8 hours because it wasn't a very busy candy shop.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I would like get done with my day at school, go there, and if you stood behind the counter, he'd be like, fix the store. But like the store had just opened and everything was perfect. And no one would come in except for to get candy, which doesn't mess stuff up.
Just to keep you busy.
Yeah, you were also required to, like literally you had to try one of each of the pieces of bulk candy a day to make sure it didn't go stale on the top layer.
Seriously?
So everyone, yeah, it was me and a few other people from my school who worked there. We were all like, yeah, we're like gaining weight like crazy. Because you had to eat like
Why?
40 pieces of candy a day. Yeah.
Wow.
And if you didn't, they would literally be like, all right, time to check if all the bulks are still good.
Oh my God.
And there was like
that's
a time when you had to
terrible.
go around and, yeah.
What a terrible job.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was also weird because we sold sexy candy things we talked about before, like edible panties and like the edible chocolate body paint, and it was only ever a very certain demographic of
That would buy it.
people, yeah, who would buy it, and it's
Okay,
it
I need
was
to ask.
uncomfortable.
Who buys?
What's the demographic?
Who buys the? No,
The
because
only
I-
people who ever bought it, there were two separate demographics, but one of them much more than the other. One of them was like, middle schoolers who thought it was funny, like edible panties.
Edible underwear.
Yeah, and then the other one was like people who you would imagine live in Century Village.
The body paints.
The body paints, the edible panties, the edible bras. We had like
They have
edible
edible
dust.
bras?
Yeah, it's like a bikini top. There's edible dust that you like dust your body with. They had a candle that melted, and the like wax was edible.
Really?
Yeah, and it was all like Century Village people that bought it, or people who you would imagine lived there.
Wow. Would you buy that stuff in person or would you buy it online?
Person.
And they were full. They did not care. They're like, all right, yep, here you go. Like a huge pile of stuff. And they'd be like, yeah, here's my card. You need my ID with it? Yeah, here you go.
You buy it in person.
And I take whoever needed it with me.
Interesting. Remember your first boss?
Yes.
Leave a lasting impression on
My
you?
father.
Okay. That's what
Work-
Val just said, right?
Work ethic.
Teddy, don't go away.
And my first boss that wasn't.
Don't go away.
My first boss. You might as well sit. You got the camera in place.
Taylor may as well come too.
My first.
We're on autopilot.
Taylor. My first boss was George Gregory, from Frank's Army and Navy. He gave me my first job when I was 12. I used to take the 4 train down to 3rd Avenue. My mother says, "You're gonna get killed." I said, "I'll be all right." And I got there. He taught me how to hem pants. He taught me how to sell. He taught me, there was a rack of sneakers, Pro-Keds and all that. So they had the most expensive sneakers. They had the cheap sneakers. He taught me how to do that. So when you bought sneakers from me, you had to buy a pair of pants, Jordache jeans, because you got to look good. And the guy used to say, "You're going to hem these for me, right?" So I learned how to hem pants at
Really?
12 years of age.
By hand or with the sewing machine?
You cut it and you do it by sewing machine. And you have to learn how to thread the sewing machine when it broke.
That's the hardest part, is changing the needle and then threading the machines.
That threading, I couldn't do it. I had to pay somebody to do it. And you remember the books when you used to write a receipt, it was orange or
Yeah,
red?
the carbon copy book?
Yes.
Yeah.
So my teacher in school says, write down your sales in the book. Nobody did that. So I wrote down my sales, and I used to be numero uno. So my boss from Frank's Army and Navy said, "You know what, Santori, I like what you're doing." So he told everybody to do it. and he gave $100 for whoever was the number one salesman at the end of the month. And I used to make $450 at 12 years of age. My father used to come pick me up in a station wagon. Come on, because they were afraid I was going to get mugged on the way home.
Taylor, you remember your first job?
Well, Cold Stone
Cold
was my
Stone.
first job. I was 15. Yeah, I was 15, almost 16 when I started. And I was really scared because I felt like everyone was way older than me. But now I'm quite a bit well, I feel way older than everyone else because they're all like still in high school and they're like in 10th grade, their first job, and they're so nervous. And I'm like, don't even worry. I was right where you were like 5 years ago.
Have you ever had like a manager who was younger than you? Like a good amount.
Oh, definitely.
It's really weird.
I've had a manager around my age.
I had a manager when I was 24. He was 19.
Wow.
Wow.
Shout out to you, Timmy. I still love you.
I thought it was the craziest thing.
Do you remember your first job?
It was for my,
Boss?
yeah, I worked for my dad.
Second job, boss.
Maybe that was the construction company.
Mm-hmm. Tell us what you learned on that.
I was a temp. You know how you had to like organize an assistant? I had this temp job over the summers and the holidays, so they put me in a trailer once at a construction site.
And who was in the trailer with you?
Just me. Who was outside the trailer were the construction guys.
You never failed to amaze me, I tell you.
But when I think about what my parents let me do and encouraged me, go to work. Like now I think back, I'm like, wow.
Would you let your daughter work in that trailer?
Now, not at 18 for sure.
when
At
you were
18. Right,
Would
a
you let your
freshman
daughter
in
do that?
college doing what? No.
Why?
I mean, yeah, I trust her.
Quick.
It's not about trusting.
But
it's not about
Chelsea's
trusting
different
them.
than me.
It's trusting everyone else.
Yeah. And now I realize it's, guys are the same. Guys are guys. Like,
No. Don't be blaming the guys because you're the one walking into that trailer.
I worked
And
in
I'm
a
sure.
construction shop, and let me tell you, guys are guys.
Guys are guys.
Yeah, but you girls put it out there.
No.
Oh,
I would wear,
yeah,
so
right.
what I'm wearing
You don't
now,
wanna get
jeans
noticed.
and a t-shirt. I used to wear this when I worked in my college's
Jeans
construction
and a
shop.
t-shirt.
Yeah, because what
A
I'm wearing
t-shirt.
now, a t-shirt or whatever t-shirt, because we would put on an apron if we were doing something we needed. And I used to be the one, because I was fine with going up on ladders, to go up and put like the tops on stuff and paint the tops. And you would hear below, wear a skirt next time. I put nothing out there. Men are men. I had one of my teacher climb up the backside of the ladder and say, you want to dance? And start shaking the ladder while I was at the top of it.
Wow.
Like, men will be men, always.
So women wear bikinis because they don't want to be noticed, right?
No.
You don't
Maybe
do
they just want to feel good about themselves.
You don't do the hair, a nice try. You don't do the hair, the makeup, and the deliciousness. You don't do that because you want to be noticed.
Why are you putting makeup and a bathing suit on at the same time?
Don't knock until you try. You feel.
Because some women want to feel super duper. They want to get noticed. My
If I'm
sister's
going in the water in hot sun, why am I gonna doll up?
because
and let it
well, you're
run.
engaged. So
Have you met your boss? No.
you're engaged. You're engaged. So you're from a different spectrum.
What?
My sister used to say, "I gotta look beautiful because you never know if I'm gonna meet Mr. Right
Well,
today."
that's a common thing to say.
So when you're not, when you're playing or you're even business people, you ever have a woman boss
Oh, yeah, definitely.
and she's gorgeous?
And
You ever
she's
have
what?
a gorgeous woman boss?
I have
Gorgeous?
at Starbucks when I was in Tampa.
And she hits on you?
Really?
No, that one didn't happen.
Never happened?
I did not have one of my female bosses hit on me. Actually, I lied. There is somewhere down here that you guys know well, and I'm still really good friends with her, and it was one of my bosses, and she hired me because she was trying to hit on me.
Nice.
I did find that out later, and I am still good friends with her.
And the funny thing
That
is that
was
you
fun.
have to try to sort of work this whole thing out. So you're working there, and the hot boss is all over your stuff. She's like, "Can I do this for you? Can I do this for you?" It's very uncomfortable.
It was great.
Sounds very uncomfortable.
Sounds
She'd be like, oh,
hilarious.
do you want me to do this for you? I'd be like, yeah, that's actually really awesome. Thank you. And then she'd be like, oh, no, you don't have to do this. You can go do this easier thing. I was like, that's awesome. Thank you.
I would
didn't
love
do
to put a
anything.
camera on Teddy getting hit on by the boss.
The woman boss?
The woman boss is even the more intrigued.
I love
We should do a show.
We should do a show. I worked in a department store when I was in high school. They once put me in the lamp department.
Because you light up their
Did you see the light?
There was
But,
one, and then
but,
someone said to me, is there a matching one? And I'm like, no, there's not. They said, you don't have 2 lamps here? I go, nope. That meant I have to climb up the ladder and go into the loft. I go, no, we don't have that. Where's one? After that, they moved
you
me
wouldn't
out.
have climbed the ladder?
No, they moved me out of the lamp department.
I would have moved you out of the store.
I
I do that
pretty much
so
was
many
like, "Fruit."
times though. When I worked at a makeup store, I've had a lot of jobs. When I worked at a makeup store, we used to oh, do you have this in this color? I'd be like, oh, let me look in the back, and you go back there for 5 minutes and you go on your phone. No,
I was
I
gonna
don't
say
have
that's,
it.
No, we don't
that's
have
the
it.
epitome of what we do.
If it's not out there, we don't have it, and people get mad if you don't look.
Right?
So you just go back and play on your phone for like 5 minutes, and you're like, oh, I'm really sorry. I look like everywhere.
That's
for
when you
it.
play the let me look, but
That's
in the
what I
back of my mind, I already know. If
Yeah,
you
'cause
don't
you
see
did
it,
the
it's
back
not
room.
here. If it's not in the back.
You guys
But
are like
let
street
me
justice.
look
My
through the
God.
rack real quick. No, I don't see it. We can order it.
But you don't even look.
I did
But
look.
you know, because usually if you're on the sales floor, you're the one organizing the back room.
No, not always.
Oh,
There-
for us it was.
There's like specific people dedicated, at least where I am, that
For me, it
to
was-
do
I
the
was
back, and then there's sales floor. So usually, it depends what it is. If the stack's like this thick, when it should be this, then you know there's nothing here. There's nothing in the back.
I was at 2
It's
different
common
jobs.
sense.
It was if you were on the floor, you were the one doing the back. So you'd get there at 5 a.m. and then you would like put away the stuff from the truck. So I know every single thing that's back there because I put it back there. And
That's a
then
lot of
I went on the
jobs.
floor and sold it.
Like Taylor, only ice cream, other jobs.
No.
Just
pretty-
ice
just
cream.
ice cream. But
Taylor's the ice
yeah.
cream expert.
yeah.
Taylor, you have any secret stories at the ice cream store?
Do tell.
Like, what do you want to know?
Like, what do you want me to know?
Well, I've done that too, but yeah, people ask all the time, oh, do you have more in the back? And I'm like, I know every single thing that's in the back. No, they ask if we have cakes in the back all the time, which we don't really keep cakes in the back other than on like Mother's Day and like Father's Day, which are the busiest days of the year, where they might keep cakes in the back, but no.
Have you
And
ever
then
had
they'll be
someone
like, can
come
you
in-
just check? And I'm like, okay. And I go in the freezer for like 2 seconds, and then I'm like, nah, I guess we don't have it. I'm like, I knew we didn't have it in the back.
Have you ever had someone come in and pretend that they knew the owner to get free ice cream? Because your dad's the owner of the shop.
Yeah, I mean, it is funny seeing that. Yeah, I'll have people like, oh, yeah, like, do you know the owner? And I'm like, yeah, I know the owner. And they're like, oh, like, is it still Mike? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh my gosh, like, I had his class, a bunch of his
Oh, that's right.
ex-students.
He's a teacher, too.
Yeah, he's a teacher, so I get a lot of his old students come in asking about him. But some of them actually recognize me, though. They're like, are you his daughter? And I'm like, yeah, like, how did you know that?
We used to have people
But-
come into our store and be like, oh, yeah, no, I know the owner. She said I could have free stuff. And I was like, I also know the owner. And no, she didn't.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
People always are trying
That's
to
my
get free
favorite.
Some
stuff.
people say to me, I know the owner of your company, Freddie. Freddie said, I'm like, really? What else, please? What else did Freddie say?
Nobody says that stuff.
Oh, yes,
It's
they
not
do.
true.
They so do.
They do
Freddie,
not.
Freddie said, I have a meeting with Freddie. Really? Okay. I had
Yeah,
a phone
right.
call with Freddie.
Yeah,
You have
right.
to talk to Freddie about this. Oh, yeah, Freddie already approved it. I was like, did he?
Approve
Did he?
what? I don't approve nothing.
That's when I know it's not true.
It's funny because I get, Dawn says, or I see the emails and people show up. I don't even know who the hell's going to show up in the show, but Dawn booked me. I says, okay, then Dawn booked you. Now, I had a store that I worked at Miami when I first came down here. No, not when I first came down here, but 5 years later. And there was this lady that wanted to buy a seat, a chair, but a different color, because it was a furniture store. And she says, can you check in the back and see if they have a different color? And I said to myself, we don't have a back, because we didn't. No, we don't have, well, can't you look? I said, ma'am, can't you? I says, you know what, I'm going to look. And she follows me to the back. Follows me.
Did you have it back?
So I went to the back and I got a glass of wine and I'm drinking the wine. And she says, what are you doing? I says, we don't have a bag. I says, do you want some wine? Yes. And she bought the one that was there. We had a couple of glasses of wine. We sat down, boom.
That's Freddie sales. You were the best at that.
But we don't have a bag. It's like, here, can you check the bag? Okay. You
Minnie
want to
went
come
in the
with
back
me?
with Amy. I'm like, man, what are you getting in the back with Amy?
Oh, what? Back in. We're just checking around, see,
Get around. They were checking the back.
What the hell were you checking?
checking the paintings and stuff.
The paintings are
And
here.
there's some paintings back there also.
Or the ones
Checking
by
the
the
back.
wall.
Checking the back.
Amy's problem is that she's
She
going
can't
to
get
need
up
more
there.
room up there.
I told her we don't have that much room as much.
She has about 100 paintings up there.
And then I told her we can't do as much. There you do like smaller paint, like really small, but that's about it.
Wow.
And that's how we roll. So how do you guys like the new equipment? It's good, right? It's running by
Pretty cool.
itself.
I'm very excited.
There's a lot more space now in Studio A.
Yeah, but now we have to wait until we can get more cameras.
Yes, we're going to wait on that one right now.
Womp womp.
But it's all good. We got this going
I
on. We've
have a
got some
plan.
phone
I
calls
have a plan.
we
B.
got to make.
What,
And
plan B?
But you know the one good thing about doing the taxes that I found?
I hate it when you do taxes.
I'm going to tell
Everything
you
shuts
why.
down.
No. I want to re-strategize. I'm going to put all the small things to the side, those things that consume my brain, that take up a lot of energy for not a lot of yield, and then grow on the creativity bigger side. I talked to Lena about it today.
Oh, yeah, well, she's okay. Listen, Dawn, there's only one thing that did not work that we ordered. One. I know what it is,
I don't even know.
and I ain't there yet. Everything else in here has been used,
Yes.
and everything has worked and has taken us to another level. But I know there was one thing, and I knew it was going to haunt me when I did it.
Oh, that thing?
Other than that, including the piano, because we had to put money into that. People have played it and everything else, but I'm going to find a usage for that one thing. I have an idea.
So there's more to come. Music, bring some music in. Did you know Amy Rashevsky was spotted in the parking lot today? There's a woman in the parking lot. She says, "Are you Amy Rashevsky?" She said, "Yes." She goes, "I follow your show." She said, "As a matter of fact, I came into the studio and I was going to put my art there, and then the pandemic hit and I haven't been back in, but now I watch your show. Can I come back in?" Our parking lot. So I don't know who it was, but she's coming back in.
I went to West Palm Deli. West Palm Deli? In Yamato?
Palm Beach Bagel.
That one. A guy came over and
Similar.
says, because I had my hat, I had my cap on. He says, Brooklyn Cafe. He says, "You're the guy on that show." And I go, "Yes, I am." He says, "Can I buy you a cup of coffee?" I said, "Sure." He says, "You are hilarious."
You are.
And he says, and he bought me a cup of coffee. on
That was
Saturday.
nice.
Good coffee?
That's another question, but it's okay.
Want to go to commercial break?
We can't till he's here.
Well, I'm going to give her time to run. So we go to commercial break. Try out the new system and see what it is. We see what's going on in your neck of the woods, as they say.
In your neck of the woods.
So these lovely flowers, I must thank Slick for bringing these to me for Mother's Day.
You know, this guy has,
I know, he's very slick. That is how he got his name.
Slick has a set of fans.
Everyone loves Slick, I know.
Everybody's saying Slick is slick and Slick is on the ball, and yet he reminds me of Poindexter when he comes in with the flowers this morning.
Now, new mom calls him Smooth
Ah,
instead of Slick.
he's the smoother.
Yes, but Brady posted a picture today and she wrote, "So smooth."
He's a smooth spike.
Now he's smooth. Let's go to commercial break. Stay tuned. Give us a call, 888-994-4995, and we'll be right back.
Fresh every single day in store. We have over 20 different ice cream base flavors and over 30 different mix-ins to choose from. We also have plenty of signature creations if you don't want to go ahead and choose your own. To end your creation, you can put it in one of our freshly made waffles. We have ice cream cakes, ice cream sandwiches, milkshakes, smoothies, banana splits, sundaes, and so many other things for you to come check out and enjoy. We are the official ice cream store of the Brooklyn Cafe. Hope to see you soon, and remember, it's always a great day for ice cream.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would listen. It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power. a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have a platform you deserve to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting Café to 55312. That's CAFE to 55312. Or call us at 866-224-5422. Your voice can make a difference.
Go with it.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
They look great on camera. And we're back.
Have you ever, you probably haven't, and the girl, oh, I got Taylor, I was going to say the girls, but Taylor's here. Taking the rose when you have dead roses, what do you do with them?
I've never had flowers, I guess. But I guess my mom just throws them away when she has flowers.
That's what I sometimes do, but I once had a boss who would take the petals, the roses, and leave them outside. And put them back in the earth and leave them around her storefront and leave them so people could take it if they wanted it, or just to bring new life into something. Have you ever
Grind
heard
them
of
up?
that?
People like hang them upside down so that I guess they all the moisture comes out, but then they can keep them, or they like press them in a book. That looks pretty.
Grind them up.
I'm not going to ask Teddy what she does with old roses.
She brings them back to life.
Like flowers.
She's not a flower. She's a plant person. She's going to see if our orchid has any life.
The one in the front?
Plants.
That has no chance.
The orchid.
That thing is so dried up.
And I water it all the time.
I think that you water it and then in the sun it bakes. There has to be a fine balance. It has
Orchids are
sunburn.
really picky. They're like the hardest plants because they have to have high humidity, just the right amount of light, just the right amount of water. Like they're really, really picky flowers.
Yeah, that doesn't really go so well with me, is all I can tell you. I
No, you
try.
don't do-
I
you don't
really, I
do-
try. I'm on like low maintenance kind of
There-
botanical person.
Low maintenance what?
Botanicals.
Botanicals?
Botanicals. Which way is she going? Through the wires. And back through the wires.
Two isn't balanced.
She's going to put it back up and through the wires.
Ow, she hurt herself.
But you got a lot of good stuff going on.
Me?
A lot of new things, yeah.
I got nothing going on.
A lot of new things. I got to tell you, the month of May has been really busy. This weekend I've got Ashley's graduation.
Two is not straight.
To
Two
what?
is on
It's on Taylor.
Taylor.
I'm appreciating not being on camera.
Why?
Oh. And you don't have Val on
I
camera
don't wanna
either.
fix the camera. Oh, well, Valerie.
No, it's okay.
We're going to have the voices up. Can you tell the voices of who it is? And you didn't get to do small talk today.
I know, but I have a really good plan, big plan for next week.
Tell us, what's your big plan?
No, it's
Oh, it's a surprise. And Teddy has maybe a new guest lined up for tomorrow night on WNN.
Yes, we're working on that.
The violin people?
No, that's the
Those are
following
next
week.
Yeah.
Another guest, because, you know, Bitcoin and all the cryptocurrency. Actually, Maki's going to be in studio tomorrow. He's supposed to.
I'm going to tell you something. You should sell today because it's way up.
I'm not selling.
I'm up $250. Yeah, well, I found out there's a whole section of crypto on your taxes.
I'm sure there is.
Oh,
Yeah, but you only
yes.
do it if you sell.
Capital gains if you sell.
Yeah, but right now I'm up $250.
But you didn't sell, so you don't.
I
Have to
will
pay
be
taxes
right
on
after
it.
this show.
Then you have to pay taxes on it.
So just keep it.
$250 is good money.
It's like any investment. You have to pay taxes on it.
Then I wait till it drops dead again and then resuscitation.
So I don't know about that. But lots of things. I saw all of them are going up.
Yeah. Dogecoin had a huge drop this weekend, and it's slowly building its way up. Litecoin's been shooting up. Ethereum's been shooting
Litecoin
up.
is through the roof.
Yeah. Glad I got on that. Thank you, Mike Macchia.
So I think he's coming tomorrow. I don't know who else is coming tomorrow.
I'm going to be selling
But we're
it.
looking to, spotlight your business, bring you new guests, and I feel like it's summer. I feel like you're always saying, get ready for summer, here we are. And I feel like here we are in summer in May.
Afternoon rains are coming starting today.
You shedding? I cut my hair. I changed it. Can you tell? No. My mother goes, I can't tell you cut your hair.
You said that you were going, you see, I lost $2. If I had sold it this morning, I would have made $250. Now I'm going to make $248.
So you know the picture that Amy redid for my mom for Mother's Day?
Yeah.
So
Did you give it to her?
I gave it to her yesterday. And she unwraps it. You see her face.
What is that?
Pretty much, that was her face. Did Chelsea make this? No. And you see her face.
That's because you don't know how to deliver a gift.
I don't.
You're
And
very dry potatoes. You go,
Yes.
here, Mom. You have to build it up. Say, Mom, let me tell you what happened. And then you make up this crazy story.
you should have been there.
If I was there, I would have said, you're not going to believe what happened.
So she says, you really think this looks like me? Well, it doesn't really look like you, but it's kind of got the aura and the essence of you. And I put on the, she's looking, my dad goes, I love it. I think it's amazing. It's the greatest piece. And she's looking, really? I just don't see it. So she rents rooms in her house. So the one person she rents a room to, I guess, walks in the kitchen this morning and he says, wow, they had a self-portrait of you. And then my sister showed it to someone at work and says, they did a self-portrait of your mother. She says, why does everybody think this looks like me? I'm like, because it kind of looks like you in the morning.
No, it does not. It
Not like
doesn't look-
really. It's kind of
her
like a
spirit
That's what I
animal.
said. I think it was like the vibrancy of you and this fun, vibrant, kooky, wacky, quirky mom that you are that we love so much. This is you. And she's still texting me. Really? This is
Tell your mother, I'm going to give her a bottle of vodka, whatever, a bottle of vodka with a purple wig attached to it.
there you go.
And tell her that's my rendition.
That's your rendition of what it is.
I
But I
asked your
think
mother
it's
for a
so
da-
cool.
I asked my mother for a dance. I said, you owe me a dance. She says, yeah, I know. So we'll see when Mom shows up.
But it's very cool. All the art in here it's all amazing. I think Barbara's bringing us some new pieces, and the piece behind me, this Pray for Peace, I think we've been praying a long time. And that is a woman that is not Michael Jackson.
How do you know that?
Because Jay told us it's not Michael Jackson.
Who is it?
It's a
Michael's
lady.
brother?
It's a woman with
It's
red
Michael's
lips.
sister.
No, maybe.
Michael's sister. Michael had a
Latoya.
sister, Latoya.
Maybe.
And another one. There's another
And
sister.
Janet, yes.
And another sister.
But I don't think it's a Jackson sister.
The
I
ugly
think it's just
duckling.
a lady. No, I don't think so at all.
There's another sister. 5 sisters?
The Jackson 5. I think there's more.
4 sisters.
Really?
I think it was. No, it wasn't. He had a brother, didn't he?
He had 3 brothers.
Yeah, I think there were more
The Jackson 5.
I think there were more than 5 Jackson kids, but I think just 5 of them were in.
4 brothers and 3 sisters.
Okay, yeah.
That doesn't add up.
The Jackson
Not all of
5
them
is
were
just
in-
a group.
Yeah, but if I thought there were 4 girls and him in Jackson 5, so if he only has 3
No, 4 or
sisters,
5 is 9.
yeah.
Not all the kids were in the Jackson 5.
No, I know. But if he is, there's 5 in the group. Wouldn't there be 4 sisters, or was there another boy?
No, I
in
think there
there
was another boy in the group.
I think they had 27 kids.
that works. There we go.
A lot, yeah. We're done.
You know, it's really funny. You never told us. You never answered the questions. Number 1, who was your first boss?
I answered it.
And number 2, what would you do if your boss was hitting on you? And if she was a female?
I was going to say the male, I'm sure it's happened. Hasn't happened with the female.
Never?
No. I don't do well in the female realm of bosses.
It's funny.
Neither do I.
I
And
was-
that's all my bosses.
I like it best.
You do?
Yeah, I love having female bosses.
Why?
I don't know. It's a lot easier, I feel like, to get along with because I feel like women bosses, at least the ones I've had, are like a lot more straightforward.
You want to come work at my store for a day?
No. I just hate a lot of people at your store. That's not a female thing. I just don't like your store all the
Oh,
time.
it's a
women
female
women
thing for
bosses
me.
better than men?
I personally do. I find that most female bosses I can be a lot more like upfront with, but I think it's also because all the male bosses I've had were usually like very intimidating. So I was like nervous to be more upfront with them. And the female bosses I can be like, hey, this is really messed up that that's happening. And they'll be like, oh my gosh, you're right.
Maybe it's just my luck because my last job was also a female boss, and she didn't take anything.
Some bosses are just bad, male or female. Sometimes it doesn't
So,
matter
I
what
don't
you
know.
are. You're just a bad boss.
Now, you do realize that in your midst right now, you have a female boss.
I have many female bosses.
All of everyone in here. You're outnumbered at the moment.
I'm not, no, you guys are catching up. No, I'm talking about Taylor. Taylor's a boss
Yes.
at her department store. Are you a good boss?
She works in an ice cream store.
Well, I mean,
The
I'm a
store.
shift leader, so technically I'm like the boss of everyone I work with. But I don't know. My dad tells me that I need to be more like strict with people.
You're soft?
Yeah. Cause yeah, like I'm too obsessed with wanting people to like me, and like I don't want them to like talk bad about me, even though they
Why?
probably will no matter what.
Can I
don't
ask
know.
you why?
I just like people to like me, and I have to work with them pretty much every day, so it would be really awkward if they hated
Didn't
me.
like you?
So yeah, that if I didn't have to like see them and work with them every day, then it would be maybe a little different, but
That's amazing that she confesses to that. You like to be liked as a boss?
I don't care.
You don't care.
I
You
don't
don't, you're not here to be liked.
Yeah. You've drilled that into me. When I first started here, it meant a lot to me. And then you've drilled into me, you're not here to be liked, you're here to be respected.
Wow. Yikes.
And I'm at a point where I just...
Be careful what you say. You're in
Yeah.
everybody's head.
You're
But
not
no,
here.
it's true. I've been bartender. I've been not a like manager, but I've been in leadership positions. And through the years, I was like, at some point, I want to be liked and I want to be nice and fair. But at the same time, if you're being stupid, I don't really care about your feelings. I'm going to tell you that you're being stupid because I'm going to get in trouble for what you're doing.
Well, you have to be respected for your talent.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you're going to be liked. It's just the nature of the beast. Not
I
here to
see
be
a lot
liked.
in business. It's very different. Men and women in
You
business.
like to be liked.
Yeah. But I'm realizing that respected, it depends what it is.
It's very
be
difficult
loved
to
or
be liked in
feared.
business because you're the one that has to make decisions and they're the ones taking decisions.
Because it's different now. Clients respect me. They may not like me. Viewers that watch like me. So it's totally different. Clients should respect me. They may not like me. That's when they go to you. But that's okay.
And what difference does it make whether they come to me or not?
It doesn't. It's just interesting to see how it plays out, male and women.
You
Because
know,
here we are, because you and I sit on equalness in this.
But there are people
Studio.
that don't like me. There's a lot of people that don't
And
like
they
me.
go to Dawn.
Yeah.
And I said, take the shortcut route. There it is.
Yes. No shortcut route.
I mean, the bottom line is you're not here to be liked. You're here to run a business. And it's not personal. If you want my opinion, I'll give it to you. If you don't, or you can't take it, then don't ask.
The business side. So what, if you started at a job and you guys were unequal, it's hard, Taylor, so not the ice cream store because you're already at another level. But Val, when you started at your business, or if Teddy, when you were at that coffee shop, you guys came in on one level. If you got elevated and a raise, what did the other people feel like when they now have to answer to you?
We
Either
just
way.
had this conversation.
Well, I was gonna say I had this happen, but it wasn't me who got elevated. It was someone else, and it was so funny watching because I had worked with him for like 4 or 5 months, and he has this like very specific personality. He's really funny. He's really goofy. He was like he was really fun to work with, and he was a great worker. And then he got a promotion, and he was like, "No, what are you doing? Are you really goofing around? If you can stand it, you can clean it." We were like,
Yeah,
"Wait a minute."
I've had that happen at my store too. Not to me, but like people that were at my level, and then so during the holiday when it gets super crazy, we have TAP, which is a temporary supervised position, and they get elevated, and their thoughts and attitudes are completely flipped, and I'm like, not dealing with that.
Yeah, people change.
You know,
a lot.
it's-
People change. They let
but
it go to their head that they're now up top of you, and that doesn't sit well with me.
But it's difficult because it's different because you sell a commodity.
A what?
You sell an object.
Yeah.
You sell an object. You sell a
I used to
service,
sell
which is
objects.
okay.
Yeah.
The difference in here is in here you sell an object, but you ask people to do creativity. We just had this meeting in Studio A.
We did.
And what's happening is you have a core of ladies and gentlemen who play above the rim. Now, you've heard this saying, playing above the rim. Michael Jordan started this whole thing. Michael used to stay up while everybody fell down to the ground. He was still up. And in this business, when you play above the rim, you have to understand that all those that come in here to learn just cannot compete right now. Okay, now I remember when Taylor started and they started to bring her in, one of the best at editing that I've ever seen in this
Ever
game.
since
I've been
the
doing it
beginning.
15 years, one of the best, one of the best. And she comes in and she's very modest. You know, she has this girl next door mentality stuff.
Just don't get her mad, by the way.
But
I've
Got a
heard.
ponytail too tight.
But the bottom line here is that when Taylor starts putting these commercials together and people come in and they want to turn it sideways, I want to see how Taylor reacts because you know what works. You know what you need to put things together. A lot of people that walk through that door have no clue. So what do you do?
It's true. I watch commercials now all the time, and I think we can do that. We do that. There's not one commercial I see. Can I say we could not do something to that level?
You ever seen
And-
bad commercials?
Sure. I listen to the audio. I listen for the hollowness.
But don't you laugh when you see bad commercials?
I don't laugh. I just think we got to get our name out there more.
I laugh because I know that you could do a whole lot better. And I know that everybody that's playing those commercials are paying 10 times more money.
Yeah.
So you're not getting the full effect.
But when I started working with you, you did all the work. And now we've got all of these incredible young minds.
Yeah, but they're a
that
lot
are-
better than me.
They are.
They're not that much better. Yeah, they are a lot better than me.
They are not a lot better, but they're just on a different level. They are amazing. And
Wow.
he's back.
Come here. We've been waiting for you. Sit over there.
How'd it go? Yeah, we're on air late because we had new equipment to set up. She can close out the show.
Let me ask you, how'd it go?
It went good.
And the ladies were waiting?
Yeah, the ladies were waiting.
They had all their hair done and everything?
Hair done, nails done, everything.
Were they happy you were there?
Yeah, most definitely. Like I would say, like they wanted. I wanted to make sure they're. Oh my gosh,
Take-
this snaps. But
Fix that camera.
like
Maybe
I wanted
more
to make
back.
sure everybody was comfortable because like every time, and it happens every time I pull out a camera, everybody acts unnatural and it's stiff. So I just wanted like I caught some nice shots of all the ladies, and of Sean as well. Every time Sean gets out of a room, it's pretty intimidating.
He's a big
Because he
guy.
bends. He bends before he gets
He's
out.
a big guy.
Oh, he's got to get out through the
6'8",
door.
right?
He gets out like that, and I'm like,
Wow.
this is
So
my
he's a
third
big guy.
time seeing you, but he's a big guy.
And he played rugby, he didn't play basketball.
No, he played basketball, then he went to rugby.
Oh, okay.
He said rugby was safer, people.
Unbelievable.
Safer than basketball.
Now, that we're talking about Triumph, which
Mm-hmm.
gets you paid. Rains are coming. I got a bad feeling about storms this year.
You
Yeah,
say that
but-
every year.
It was just raining.
No, this year. Rains are coming every afternoon. Oh, it's
Yeah.
raining now?
Yeah, it was just raining. Like when I was heading down there, started raining.
Rains are coming every afternoon now around 3 o'clock till about 7 o'clock. And
Hi,
the
honey.
heat makes these rain clouds even more angry, is what I found out
So we were at my
today.
parents yesterday, and my sister-in-law looks up, and there's a spot in their kitchen ceiling. And there's another spot in their kitchen ceiling. And it was like, oh, gosh, like, it just
Probably
doesn't
more, yeah.
stop here.
Well, it never stops when you, and you know, Triumph is the type of people that come in, they fix problems. You maybe want to call them for mom and dad. But the bottom line is
They get you paid.
they get you paid if you're going to be using an adjuster or whatever for the insurance. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going through it right now. It's not an easy deal. So
Not at all.
it's
It
very
was
bad.
interesting. So that was nice. Nice job.
No problem.
All right,
Anytime.
we ran. Our scheduling today was a little different, but we make it work.
I can't believe you came back.
Hey, I've heard you, just like how you always say, I forgot something. I really did.
What'd you forget?
My charger for my laptop. So that's, you know.
Wow.
I
Are you
always leave.
serious?
If I leave something, that means I'm coming back.
I got to tell you, the piece that you did for Artful Dodger was very nice.
I haven't seen it.
Very nice.
I just have to get the one.
Now we need the voiceover on
We
it.
need
Yeah.
your dad's voice.
And you had to also put the lower third. But
Yeah.
I like his spot as a commercial for Artful Dodger. I think it's
Nice.
really nice. Now we play the spot at the radio station
Yes.
every day.
Yeah, the audio plays.
We can keep it the same, but a different visual so people
I
can.
guess you could keep the audio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except it's missing one part.
What's the part? Freddie, I don't know what that part is.
The
What's that?
drone.
The
The
drone.
No. Okay, guys. I mean, a drone shot is good for
If
like
you're
if
doing
it's like a nice brick and mortar. But like this, the way we're capturing Artful Dodger, we wouldn't be actually capturing it.
You're going to capture
the
the whole
drone.
plaza.
You'll be.
I want to
yeah.
capture the drone coming down and looking right at the Artful Dodger, and then you shrink it. You fix the video.
I'll see what me and Dan gets to come up with, but like for right now, when we saw it on Saturday,
I was so excited. I thought there was going to be two guys in the car. I was talking to everybody yesterday.
I'm sorry. We're gonna create one this week.
Crushed
Dan.
my heart.
It's okay. We're gonna create one this week. So
Okay.
All right, more to
All right.
come. Have a great day, everyone. Be kind to each other. Stay dry, and we'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
That's right. Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.
In the cold and sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can pick in every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save her. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an avalanche, like an avalanche. I listen for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweet